Okay, in this segment, what we're going to do is search for song information. So if you're looking for publisher information or performer information or record label information, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks to get to that information. So let's start with assuming that we are looking for a worship song. Let's say 10,000 Reasons by Matt Redman. And I'll show you a few different places where you can look for that type of information. So first, just do a general Google search and see what we come up with. So the problem with the Google search, not so much a problem, but you'll see that right away that your results are going to be how to buy the song, how to look at the YouTube videos, things like that. It's not a lot of helpful information just by Googling it, so I'm going to show you a few databases, real easy to access specific song information for licensing. So go back up, and where you want to go is the CCLI website first. I always want to start with CCLI when we're talking about a worship song because CCLI caters to the church market, and so the assumption is it will be the best place to find a worship song. When I Google CCLI, you see right here at the top result, welcome CCLI. So you can go directly to the site or you could jump directly to the song search. Because you see that link here, I'm going to walk you through the site itself, and so you can still access the song search. So on the page, you look over here to the sort of middle right and you see song search. Click on that quick link and that will bring up your search bar. So here you can type Matt Redman. Let's start there. So type Matt Redman, and the first result is 10,000 Reasons. But here you can see all of the Matt Redman songs, whether they're where he's the only writer, like Nothing But the Blood, or where he's a co-writer with other people like Chris Tomlin or Jonas Mirren. If you look over here on the left, you can see catalogs that Matt Redman's name may be associated with. This may or may not be a direct correlation to who he signed his songs to, but there's some connection here. So if you say, for example, couldn't remember the name of one of the catalogs that you knew a Matt Redman song was a part of, you could look over here on the left and then, oh yeah, it's Worship Together, or it's worshiptogether.com songs, or whatever it is. The other thing you could see if you scroll down on the left is with authors. These are other authors that Matt Redman may be associated with, and that in part is based on when you look at this middle column. So the middle column is authors. You see here on 10,000 Reasons, Jonas Mirren is one of the co-writers. So you can skip over here, and let's say you couldn't remember the co-writer's name, but you remembered Matt Redman's. Once you get to this link and you see Jonas Mirren, you can click on his name here, or you can go over here to the left and click on Jonas Mirren, and now that's going to bring up all the songs that Jonas Mirren has written. And so looks like most of them, if not all of them, are co-writes. So you can search by name. You could search up here by song title as well. So I see the third song or fourth song down, Lay Me Down. Let's try that. So as a song title, it's the first one that comes up. If you scroll down, let's say that you're actually looking for the Brian Elmquist version. So that one right here, when you click on that, you'll bring up this information about the song. So on the left-hand side here, you see song number. This is the CCLI song number. The authors, if there's more than one, you'll see them listed here. And usually they're hyperlinked, so you can click on the name to get to other songs they've written. You'll see the catalogs. So this is the catalog that the song Lay Me Down belongs to, Sony ATV Songs LLC. Under copyrights, so in the copyright section, catalog section, copyright section, and administrator section is where you're usually going to find the information you need to track down who owns the song and where you might be able to get a license. If you're not familiar with the licensing process, if you see a name under the administrators here, Sony ATV Music Publishing, that's generally, the administrator is generally where you're going to be able to get a license. And so with administrators, usually this contact information may appear here, and if it doesn't, I don't believe you're going to find it, because if you click on this link, Sony ATV Songs, that looks like a hyperlink, the problem there is that that's only going to give you other songs that are in that catalog. So we've talked about how to find a specific name, a specific song name. If you knew the catalog, let's say worshiptogether.com, let's see if we can find some results there. So if you knew that it was a Worship Together song, for example, but you couldn't remember the title, you couldn't remember the songwriters, anything, or yeah, the songwriters. Let's click on one of these and say this is the one you found. So another thing I want to show you, and this is a much better result than what we've seen before. On the left here, you see you could actually listen to this. So and the great thing about that tool is there's so many songs with the same name or similar variations of a name that it's great to be able to confirm that this is in fact the song you're looking for. So always try and use that button if it's available. Here you see a lot more information about the copyright. You have multiple administrators here. You also have a song that, well, it's Amazing Grace and My Chains Are Gone. So you see also known as. So there's actually 4 different variations of that song. The catalogs that this song belongs to is 6 Steps, Vamos, and worshiptogether.com. So again, you can click on those to link to find other songs within those catalogs. Another great thing on this particular result is the lyrics preview. Because again, if you're looking for a song and you're not sure if you found the correct one, you can always confirm that if there is a lyrics preview or a sound preview, but not all the songs in the CCLI song search have that. Another thing you're going to see over here is related. So this is related to just the song Amazing Grace, which is not My Chains Are Gone. And also translations, and finally the original key. So that's not as important, obviously. The original key is not as important when you are looking at licensing. But if you're looking for a translation, this is extremely helpful because now you could see that you have these 3 different translations here, and let's click on I think this is the Korean version. Click on that one, and you're going to get the results. Well, it doesn't, I don't see anything different other than the lyrics preview. So with the lyrics preview, if you were looking for this particular version and this translation, that may help you to make sure you have the right one. But otherwise, it's the same information otherwise. So let's try one more thing I want to show you. Let's try the song Mercy. And the reason why I want to pull this up is because if you look up here, you have, it's page 1 of 688 pages, and it's 17,181 search results for Mercy. This is one of the problems that you'll encounter when searching for song information is just that you have way too many results. And so part of how you're going to get past that, if you don't know the names, is search within. So I see that, for example, Phil Wickham is right here. So let's say that we didn't see that Phil Wickham result, but we know that Phil was a writer, maybe a co-writer, we don't know, but we know his name was involved. So what you do is search within and click on that, and it should just bring up that result. But instead of bringing up that result, what it does is it takes just the Phil Wickham songs, which includes Mercy, we see here, but there's a bunch of other Phil Wickham songs as well. But at least there's only 17 search results. So the idea is to narrow your search, and that's a big piece of finding the results that you need in order to get the license that you need. So once you've found, let's say that we were looking for Mercy, we knew it was the Phil Wickham version, we've gotten to this page, so we're going to click here on Mercy, and we want to get a license. Who issues the licenses for this song? We look at administrators, and it's Music Services. Great thing is with Music Services, you can click on that link, and it will take you directly to the Music Services website, where you can enter a license request right over here. So Music Services works with a lot. Actually, I think some or all of their publishers are listed here, but they've been around for a very long time, and you could complete a license request directly on this website. So we've looked at CCLI for song searching, but now we're going to look at a couple of other options. when you may not be able to find a song in CCLI. Let's say it's a secular song, or maybe it's a non-worship song that just is not in their database, or maybe it's even it is a worship song, even if it's congregational worship, but let's just say that the songwriters or publishers have not registered the song with the CCLI database. We're going to try a couple of other resources. We're going to start with ASCAP. ASCAP is the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, and it's basically the, well, it says right here, world leader in performance rights. And so again, you could see the quick link to ACE title search. So if you wanted to jump straight into a song search, you could go there. Or we could go through the website, which I want to show you how to do. So you click on the link to the ASCAP website. You see up here at the top, ACE Repertoire. You want to click there, and that essentially takes you to the title search, where you can search by the title, the writer, the performer, publisher, work ID, or if you know the ISWC. We're going to start with Mercy, simply because we've already kind of worked on that song. So when you click Mercy, we're looking for that Phil Wickham version, just for the sake of exercise. It's going to search for a minute, and we're going to get, let's see how many results. Doesn't say how many results, but we'll just start scrolling through. You'll immediately see the problem is that there's a lot of results, and they have Mercy somewhere in the song or in the publisher's name. Like, for example, number 9, Cardiac Care, Mercy Hospital, and that's a part of the title. So you might be searching for a very long time to find that song in the ASCAP database, simply because you can't narrow the filters down at this point. So we can try adding another search filter or search criteria. Let's try Phil Wickham. See if that helps. And it doesn't, so let's just search for Phil Wickham and see if that helps. Now right now, you see that it's on title. Just want to show you that when you click on title, you're not going to get any results. So make sure that you select the correct search criteria. If you're looking at writers, you want to select writers or performers and then go with the search criteria. So nothing's coming up with Phil. Let's try performers. Now, one of the things, okay, so Phil Wickham is here. And we don't see the song title Mercy. Let's go back, because you did see that there were 2 performers named Phil Wickham. Actually, one of them's Wickham Phil. We'll see if maybe that one has it. So neither of those search results has a song Mercy. And so you could see this as part of the frustration of the process, is that sometimes it's very difficult to find songs. And so if you didn't find it in CCLI, you still haven't found it in ASCAP. Part of the reason may be because Phil Wickham is not an ASCAP writer. And so when you think about it, you're searching the ASCAP database simply because it's a very large database, and your average writer is likely to be a part of the ASCAP family. But not all writers are. There's also BMI and CSAC, though those are the other performing rights organizations. So if you can't find what you're looking for through ASCAP, then you'll want to move on to BMI and CSAC. But let's do a couple of other things here. We'd looked for 10,000 reasons when we were looking in CCLI's database. So let's see if we could find that here. You see that I didn't have any results, and that's because I still had the performance selected. So your hope would be that a database like this would search possibly all of those fields, but it doesn't. You have to select the correct one. So first result right here looks like what we're looking for. And it's 10,000 reasons. You can see Matt Redman's name here. You can see some other names that you're familiar with, 6 Steps, Thank You Music, Worship Together. So now we know we found what we're looking for. So a couple of things I want to show you here. If you wanted to find more songs by Matt Redman, you could click on his name, and that will bring up more. But right now, what I want to point out sorry, there it goes. So here's a bunch of Matt Redman songs, and so you can click on any one of those for more information, and then it'll show you who performed it, who wrote it, also publishing or administration information. But let's go back. Well, actually, we can use this one. Thank You Music. How do we get in contact with them? Click on that down arrow, and you'll see a drop down for the contact information. You see a phone number and an email address. So you can actually request a license directly from this point. Now, granted, Capitol Music has an online licensing tool that they would want you to use. And so in this case, you're going to email and then they'll say use our online licensing tool, or you'll call them and they'll say that. But this is how you basically get to the information. Let's back up real quick because I wanted to show you when you have multiple administrators here or publishers. Let's click on a few of these and you see EMI Christian Music Publishing, but the address here is the same. Contact information is the same. Same for Thank You Music. Same for Six Steps. And same for Said and Done Music. And the reason why I wanted to show you that is because when you see that long list of publishers / administrators, you're thinking, oh, I might have to contact 4 or 5 different organizations. But a lot of times in music, especially if you're working with Capitol Music, a song in the Capitol Music, one of their catalogs, they will administrate the entire song even if there are multiple publishers involved. So you can usually find that information out simply by clicking on the drop down here and looking for the information, and there you go. And that's ASCAP. The next music search tool we're going to look at is BMI, and that's Broadcast Music Inc. So you do your Google search here. It's not Body Mass Index. You're looking for the correct link, which is Broadcast Music Inc. here. And BMI, like I said earlier, is one of the 3 performing rights organizations in the U.S. So you are a music user. So you see up here at the top, you can click there or click here. The problem is this is not directly intuitive in how to search the songs. And if you see over here in the search bar, it says search site or repertoire. The problem there is if you search for a song, you're just going to get a lot of other stuff that doesn't relate to a song search. It'll give you news, it will give you reports and all sorts of things that you're not looking for. So I don't recommend going that direction. Go up to Music User and you see Why License, License FAQ, Contact Us. Again, it's not intuitive which direction to go, but I'm going to show you if you go Why License, you'll see that it brings you to this section of the page and you see Repertoire Search here. So that's where you go to Repertoire Search. Here is where you're going to look for your songs. So let's say that we were looking for 10,000 Reasons again. And we know that it exists in those other databases. We're going to see if it exists in this one. Let's try this. So you see 10,000 Reasons. You see Matt Redman's name come up again, and there's more information here. So you can click on that song, and you could find additional information. And just like with the ASCAP search results, you're going to see contact information for the publisher here.